Good afternoon and happy Saturday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I got a lot of stuff done today, like a ton of stuff. I didn't wake up super early this morning. I got up maybe around 9 o'clock or so. But it was thunderstorming like most of the day today, especially in the morning. And it's kind of stopped in the afternoon, which was nice because Jack was able to actually mow the front lawn and hopefully can get to some tomorrow as well. But it's supposed to like thunderstorm pretty much over this entire weekend and Monday too, over onto the holiday weekend, so that's why it's like kind of stinks. But Jack was able to get the lawn mowed today, but because it was so dark out this morning, like normally the light from like outside normally kind of wakes me up in the morning, but because it was raining, I didn't even really like, I don't know, it's just when it's like a gloomy morning and it's not very sunny out, I actually do tend to sleep in later because I think the sun actually like wakes me up a little bit. So yeah, I ended up sleeping till like 9 o'clock. We ended up going to the grocery stores, went to Valley Produce, Caputo's, and Aldi. I got all my shopping done, except for we forgot to go to Menards to pick up newspapers, but my dad and Jack are going to go get their hair cut, I think, tomorrow morning, so I think they're going to pick some up, or just the 2 newspapers tomorrow. There was nothing else I was planning on getting at Menards anyway. And I also sent him my mail-in rebates. I don't know if I told you guys that. I did that on Thursday, so I got that taken care of earlier in the week, which they had to be postmarked, I think, by today, which was nice. I got it done early. So then we came back home, and I ended up doing a load of dishes, and then I prepped pretty much as much of the like produce and stuff like that as I possibly could. The only things that I couldn't get to was cantaloupe. I didn't cut up the cantaloupe, I didn't cut up a watermelon, and I didn't cut up the bell peppers, only because the bell peppers and the cantaloupe I needed to wash the Tupperware, so it was in the dishwasher while I was cutting everything up. And then with the watermelon, I didn't have enough room for it, so I ended up just going ahead and leaving that, and I'll probably take care of that stuff probably tomorrow. Then on top of that too, because we were grilling today and we got a lot of like fridge stuff and things like that, so I didn't have that much room in the refrigerator. I didn't want to leave chicken breast in the fridge until I could make my freezer dinner, so I was like, I'll just do it all in one day. I ended up making 6 barbecue chicken freezer dinners, just really quick. Honestly, all I did was just put the chicken into like freezer bags and put them out in the freezer, and I'm just gonna throw them, when I do barbecue chicken, all I do is I throw the chicken breast in like enough water to cover it, because what I've noticed is when like I'm making shredded chicken, if I cook it in water, it actually helps to make it a lot tender and a lot easier to shred. So I just do that. Then once it's done cooking, I'll drain the water out, shred up the chicken breast, and then add a thing of barbecue sauce to it, and then normally let it kind of just, you know, like hang out in the crock pot for maybe about like an extra like 15 minutes to like a half an hour, so that it can absorb all of that, you know, tasty barbecue taste and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's normally just, it's so easy to make. But they had barbecue sauce on sale because of the holiday weekend, so I ended up getting some of those on sale, and I was like, I'll just make barbecue chicken because the chicken was on sale. It's normally a super easy freezer dinner to make. Like I said, I just literally froze the chicken breasts and wrote on the bags, and I wrote on the barbecue sauce that I put back in the pantry. It's for like those freezer dinners and not to use them for something else, just so that I know, because sometimes if it's stuff, if I make a freezer dinner where I don't freeze all of the contents with it, you know, if it's something where I need to keep it in the pantry, like sometimes too for certain dishes or whatever, it might be like with like chicken broth, or you know, with a broth or something like that that normally might get added, you don't add it while you're freezing it, so I'll leave that in the pantry then, and I'll just write on there like, oh, it's for, you know, such and such meal or whatever. So that's what I just ended up doing. So I made all of those for today. And then after that was our football party that we had started. We started with NIU, which played at 2:30, which they were actually completely in the game at halftime. It was 3-0, and they had like 2 field goal opportunities, and they missed both of them. They had several really good offensive drives too, and then at the end of the 3rd period, they were playing, who were they playing? Iowa. And they ended up just kind of getting like steamrolled after that. I don't remember what the last score was, but they did end up getting shut out, which kind of stunk. So, yeah, it wasn't, like, it was a really, like, good game, like, you know, it wasn't a high-scoring game or anything like that, but it was still, like, a really competitive game up until, like, kind of the end of the game. But we ended up watching that. Cubs game was on shortly after that, I think, like, 6 o'clock. So we watched the Cubs game for, like, an hour. Then Notre Dame played at 7 o'clock, and Alabama also played at 7 o'clock. So we were mainly watching Notre Dame, and we switched back and see Alabama every once in a while, and then we'd go back and switch and watch the Cubs game too. We were watching college football, and then we were watching a little bit of baseball as well today. Just as our, you know, we had Friday Night Lights yesterday, and then we had, you know, 3 college football games today, and Northwestern played on Thursday night, and the Bears played Thursday night too. So yeah, and then the Bears play, I don't know when they play. Maybe it's Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football or something like that, because there's the rivalry with Green Bay, and they're playing the first game of the season. So I know it's like one of the bigger ones. Like I said, it's either like Monday night or Sunday Night Football or something. So that's next weekend. I don't know if we'll be able to get the Carolina game, but yeah, guys, all my favorite football teams I've kind of been able to see, like, this last week. I just haven't been able to see Carolina play yet, which kind of stinks. So I'm hoping, like, maybe next weekend we will be able to catch their game. But I also did 2 loads of laundry today, too, because Matthew is home, and I need to wash his clothes while he's here. So I was able to get a lot of stuff done for today, guys, like a ton of stuff. And then after all of that was done, I was like, okay, I'm going to go take a shower and head to bed. But my dad wanted to see the sports, like, updates, so we ended up staying up. I watched the news for half an hour. Then after that, Saturday Night Live was on. I stayed up for, like, another hour and watched that. So now I'm exhausted because I went to bed late last night. I didn't get up super early, but I still got up a little bit earlier today. And I feel like I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and so I'm pretty tired, and I'm going to bed late again tonight, which kind of stinks, but I don't have to be anywhere or do anything tomorrow, so I might sleep in a little bit. But yeah, Charlie was watching the Saturday Night Live with me, weren't you, Charlie? Charles, are you licking yourself right now? Hi, can you hear me talking about you? Did you watch the football games with me? Are you a football dog? Do you like football? College football? I am not a huge college football fan. Like, I mean, there's a couple of, like, college football teams that, like, my mom is a huge Notre Dame fan. I feel like we've kind of been directed into, like, Notre Dame and stuff like that. I really like Alabama personally, and my dad works for Northwestern, so we're like Northwestern fans, and then Matthew goes to NIU, so now we're NIU fans, and so we have like a bunch of like college football teams that we do really like and we follow and stuff like that. Me personally, I don't love college football a whole ton, only because for me, I really like to like get to know the players, or like watch the players and stuff like that. And in college football, you don't really have that. You don't get that, like, I feel like you get more of almost, you know, more about like the coaches and stuff like that, and like the traditions of the schools and stuff like that is cool, but I don't feel like you get to know the players well enough in college because they don't play college football for that long. And so it's kind of cool, like, I guess if you see them in college football and then if they do go to the NFL and stuff like that, but the college football players aren't like noticed enough or and stuff like that, or like their names don't get thrown around as much, whereas like, you know, you mention like a football, you know, a quarterback in the NFL and everybody knows who that is, whereas you say like a college football player, you know, like quarterback or something like that, and some people be like, oh yeah, I think I've heard of him, doesn't he play for that school or something like that, but it's like not as well known unless, I mean, you're really into it. But for me, I'm just like, I don't know, and I can't like get behind college football quite as much. I don't grow that like connection, I feel like, watching the players, because it can change and stuff like that. But I don't know, I just like, I feel like that's even the same way too, like for me, I could watch almost any sport if I learn and know the like players and stuff like that. Like even too, just watching like from watching baseball and stuff like that and seeing the teams that, like when I watch the Cubs and seeing the teams that they play against, I slowly start to pick up on like, oh, who's that guy and who's, you know, who are they playing against, especially if it's a team they play often and stuff like that. And so I'll learn those players. Or like, I feel like the NFL though, I know like probably, I don't even know, 25% of the players in the NFL. I feel like more the common like football players and stuff like that I know, but and bigger name ones, but I could tell you where most of them played and or where they're playing, or you know, if they were traded, or like, oh, didn't that person actually play there, or like even past NFL players and stuff like that. I feel like football I know a lot about, and I feel like the same way with basketball too. But I don't know, I guess with like, even when I watch hockey sometimes too, I'll be like, oh, that guy, he plays for the Penguins, or you know, something like that, or that guy plays for the Red Wings. Like, I know them, and like, even though I don't watch that team, or I don't root for that team or something like that, I know the players individually, and so I feel like I make that connection better, and I have a disconnect with like college football because of that. So that's why I can never get behind it that much, because it's not something that's like a consistent for me. And on top of that too, there's a lot of teams that you like, if you follow one team or follow maybe a couple teams, you don't see like sometimes, you know, a lot of other schools, or just a random school that you're like, I didn't even know this school existed, you know, whereas like in professional sports, you do know all the teams for the most part. And it's not like just some random team that you're playing and we're like, oh, like we've never played them before, or you know, it's been years since we played them, or something like that. Like, I don't know, like if it's a big college playing a smaller college or something like that, it's like, I don't know any of these players, I don't know like anything about the school, and sometimes it's kind of cool to learn that kind of stuff. But I feel like for me, just because it's, you know, more uncommon with like college football to like learn and know the players, they don't wind up playing college football for that long, whereas like, you know, you grow a connection over the course of several years with a team and their players, because that's their like franchise and stuff like that. And so yeah, I don't know, guys. I just, like, college football is harder for me to watch, but I enjoy it because it's still football. It's just, like, after a while, like today, by the end of the day, I was like, I've watched so much football already today. And yesterday, too, you know, being out at the high school football game, I was like, I just feel like I've been on, like, football, like, overload. But there's no football that I know of that's on tomorrow, or anything that I really care about watching. I'm gonna see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog, and maybe cure my football hangover that I'm kind of having right now, and my football overload. So I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.